What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Zach's Live Trader. Here with you, as always, I am the bearded boy wonder, Dave Bartosiak. And today, my friends, it's all about Fastenal, ticker FAST. So remember, I got a little bit of a delay, like 30 seconds or so from the time where I say something and the time that you guys see something. So if my chat looks a little goofy or I don't, respond right away, that's why, because we've got this weird sort of delay in the matrix. But I already see Tremblay and Trevor. So we've got a few people on. There's Danny. What's up, buddy? I don't know about you guys or how many of you guys are like addicts like I am, but last night when that missile went off, I was sitting on the couch, minding my own business, watching the Bulls play the 76ers, and my trader buddy sent me the thing about the missiles. I turned on my computer and immediately bought gold futures and just watched it just go crazy. Gold went up $19 yesterday in a 10-minute span. And then chopped back and forth a little bit, gave some of it back. It was beautiful. I think I made 4 trades yesterday, made money on every trade. So it was glorious. It was a great way to spend the evening. And then this morning we had non-farm payrolls. A little bit disappointing. The number came in a little bit lower. There was some action there too. And good stuff. All sorts of good stuff going on in that market. So, all right, let's take a look here at Fastenal. So, first and foremost, I want to take a look at this price consensus and EPS surprise chart like we always do. And here on the price consensus and EPS surprise chart for Fastenal, we can see the black lines corresponding to the right y-axis, which is in fact price. Then we have the multicolored lines, which represent the evolution of our Zach's consensus estimates. The little green arrows, which are earnings beats. The little red arrows, which are earnings misses. And you can see here that things are off and rolling for Fastenal. I see somebody saying they have a blank screen. Oh, we got blank screens? Blank screens? Blank screens. Says I'm streaming. Says I'm streaming. Says I'm streaming here. Is everybody blank? Just going to throw out a quick question to you guys because I do see some people having some trouble. It looks like I'm fine. Everything says it's okay here on my end. So, yeah, I can see it on my end. So, guys, I think you might be having some issues just kind of personally there with your computer setup because everything looks fine to me. Okay, good, we're working. Good, we're up, we're live. All right, we're live and running. Cool. All right, cool. All right, guys. Sorry about that. Got a little distracted. I just get a little paranoid here. Want to make sure everybody can see it. All right. Back to Fastenal. So you've got these multicolored lines represent the evolution of our Zach's consensus estimate here, and we have the price kind of chopping back and forth. Miss, beat, miss, beat, all over the place, right? So we really don't know what's going to happen out of Fastenal. We don't have a great pattern here. Let's look at the stock chart. And as always, guys, I like to use freestockcharts.com because it's free and easy to use. And, oh, yeah, here's that gold move I was talking about, guys. While this is pulling up, look at this thing. Went from 1250 to almost 1270. Blink of an eye, and then it's been chopping around ever since. Anyway, we're not paying attention to gold right now, though. We're talking about Fastenal. So let's go ahead and put this up here, the Fastenal company. And you'll see they're getting a little bit of support here at the 50-day moving average. Commodity channel index has been kind of chopping right around the zero line for a very long time. And we've been in a little bit of a consolidation range here, kind of 49 and change for the most part, up to 50 and 52 and a half. Most of this action has been in here, though, sort of this 51 handle, 51 and a half handle. And that's where you see here on my volume at price chart. I love, if you have this indicator, if you don't have this indicator, you need to start incorporating something like this or a market profile, something along those lines, just because these volume studies really help when you're trying to figure out what's happening with a stock. So a lot of choppy action here in the 51s, right? So there's like a magnet here at 51, and it's been that way since, January. Now, this is the last earnings report, I believe. So it's been kind of just stuck on the 51 level. So they're really looking for something to push them one way or another. What pushed them here off of the lows? Of course, the Trump trade, right? The great Trump rotation, the MAGA trade, whatever you want to call it. They're building materials, domestic here. So, of course, you're going to have a huge rally. And now it's kind of been stalling out. You know what else this looks like, guys? Looks like the Russell 2000. Very similar move. So the Russell is an index made up mostly of domestically, domiciled companies, right? They get a big chunk of their earnings from the states. So when Trump was making us these promises that we're going to make America great again and spend this money on infrastructure and it's going to, benefit here our domestic economy, the main beneficiary of that push was the small caps of the Russell. And then again, so this is what, December when this started chopping around. Fastenal, it was the next earnings report that they had before they started really chopping around, but very similar pattern, right? And also very similarly to the Russell, just like we are here, just kind of sideways, okay? Moving sideways, chopping around, not much direction, all right? So the 50-day, it is peaking just under the 50-day. It's already done that a couple times here, so that's not a huge deal. If it gets oversold, who knows? Not a big deal, So from a technical perspective, really, this is just telling us it's a range-bound kind of market, which is good, though, because range-bound stocks lead to breakouts, okay? So remember this sort of 49.5 and the 52.5. Keep those in your head. All right, so now let's look at the detailed estimates page on Zacks. Zacks rank number 2 buy right now. Value style score of D. Wouldn't have expected that one heading into this. Growth C, momentum F. They're going to report before the market opens. I believe that's next Wednesday. And I guess this is why that growth score or the value score is so bad. It's 27.5 times earnings on these guys. Top 19% of the Zacks industry rank. Let's look at the revenue side. Year-over-year revenue growth for the current quarter, 4.72%. Next quarter looks like 5.6%. Current year, 6.27%. Next year, 7.25%. So these are actually pretty healthy. Starting off healthy, staying healthy. Looking pretty good. Current quarter EPS numbers, 3.9% EPS growth for the current quarter. Next quarter, 8.3%. Current year, 7.06%. And next year it's going to get better. Now, I always make fun of companies for this, because they always do this, right? You always promise that next year is going to be better than this year. Now, in the case of Fastenal, I'm not so worried about it, right? This is called having goals, okay? Versus some of these other companies that are, making no money, and they're like, oh yeah, but next year it's going to be 30% growth. That kind of pie in the sky stuff you need to avoid. But this, going from 7 to 9.7, that's admirable, right? They've got goals. Now let's see, why is this the number 2? It's because of 60 days ago. So this is obviously in relation to their earnings report, the previous earnings report. 2 analysts coming out, increasing their estimates for the current quarter and next quarter. 5 coming out for next year, or the current year, and 4 coming out for next year. What's the overall effect to our Zacks consensus estimate? 45 cents to 46 for the current quarter, 48 to 49 for next quarter, $1.82 to $1.85 for the current year, and 196 to 203 for next year. So pretty healthy, but that's why it's a 2 and it's not a number 1, because it's not a huge move. The magnitude of this estimate move is not that great. So that's why. The surprises, chopping back and forth, they make it by a penny, they miss, or 2 pennies, they missed by a penny, they missed by 3, they come in line, blah, 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 So they're probably going to come in line with most expectations, right? And that's what we've got here. So that's what we get from our detailed estimates page. Now I got to bust out the big guns for you folks. Our ZRS, Zacks Research System. I do believe this is available for mere mortals, but it's not cheap. So don't worry about it. But we can definitely, if you really want it, we can get somebody in touch with you. So This is Fastenal's performance versus the rest of the market, of their industry, rather, okay? And they have been lagging the industry since about early March, rather, the beginning of March. They've lagged the industry. What's going on with that? Let's see. I can make this, I can get this history. Let's just do 1 month, just the last month. What's happened? Lagging a little bit. Well, yeah, what's going on? I don't know what's going on over there, Fastenal. Right? Well, some great outperformance, and then they gave it back. So this is a result of their earnings report, and then they gave it back, kind of back to the norm. So I think the story here is if you believe in the industry, you're going to be okay here. Let's look and see how this Zacks rank has gone over time. I love this chart because just like the price consensus and EPS surprise chart, it tells us something, right? This tells us something too, because the Zacks rank is essentially aggregating that data for us and comparing it to other stocks. So typically when these things fade from a buy to a hold or to a sell, you'll see it come down because that's kind of what's happening with the consensus, right? Choppiness here. Yay, we're a buy. And then down from a buy up to down into a strong sell here. And the stock did sell off considerably and turned around, kind of came out of that. This must have been that earnings report, and here we go. Or no, here's the earnings report. Here we go, moving forward. So they've actually done okay. How have they done as a direct result of their earnings? Because this is what we want to know. This is important price information that we can use when we're taking a look at this thing. And guys, if you do have a question like a one-off, you're looking at XYZ or ABC or whatever stock it is that we're not kind of covering, when we do our question and answer sessions, I want you to throw those out, and I'll go ahead and I'll pull up some of these for you guys. Whatever one you want, I'll do it. Today, I kind of like to focus on this. I'm still a little bit under the weather. I know I sound very chipper, but that's because making money makes me chipper. I got a little bit of coffee in me, but I'm still a little rough here today. So today we won't do a big question and answer session, but next week I'm going to have one, and we're going to do the same thing that we did yesterday, where I find a day where we've got a couple of companies reporting. I'm going to go ahead and break down what's happening in the markets, take a look at those specific stocks to see how they're reacting, talk about their earnings report, and then open it up for some questions, and we can do this then. Okay? All right. So over here on Fastenal, we've got, what are these moves? Negative. Why is this all over here? Okay, there we go. Look, I didn't even know I could go back that far. Look at me learning. Look at that. I could go all the way back. Wow. Anyway, I subscribe to the KISS method, my friends. Keep it simple. So we're going to keep it simple today. December, it moved 4.7% on an earnings beat. Here's a disappointment. Disappointing. -7. Disappointment. Disappointing. -4. In line. Disappointed. Disappointment. Disappointed. Beat. Disappointed. Why are they disappointing so much? That's just on the EPS. Now, if you look at the revenue side, maybe this will clue us in. And it does. Because here you'll see negative, 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 kind of a beat, negative, negative, right? So that explains this -2 here, even though they beat on earnings, because they disappointed on EPS, okay? So overall, though, I'm kind of getting this vibe that there's like a negative tilt towards Fastenal after earnings. Now I guess I will go back a little bit just to see negative, nothing negative. So they haven't really had one of these times where they have a big earnings beat and it skyrockets, right? And the stock doesn't really move all that much either. So I don't think that we should be looking at going long any call spreads or long any put spreads. I think we should be on the short end of this, go a little bit out of that range, and we might be able to make a few bucks that way. Okay, so I've got the April 21st expiration here. The stock's trading 50.5. So let's go ahead and bust out the Epic pen and look at the at the money call and the at the money put. Got my handy dandy calculator out here. $50 holler on the on the call side is 165 by 195. That's $1.80 all day. Then on the puts, 75 by 90. let's call it 82. So 262 divided by that $50. So the market's pricing in a 5% move, 5.24% or 260. Okay, but we know by looking at the chart that doesn't happen too much here on Fastenal. So we got a leg up on you, Fastenal. All right, how do we want to do this? So, calculator aside, just for giggles, I want to look and see what. Let's keep it here. I was gonna say let's see what May looks like. I guess I will. I just wanted to see if there's more. And look, there's more open interest at the 49 put in May. And there's more open interest at the 52.50 call in May. How much you want to bet those are sellers? Because take a look at this: 49.5, 52.5, pretty much. Funny how that works, huh? Funny how that works. The 49 to 52.5 is where they got all that action there, right? So I think there's a lot of people that saw what we saw and are on that side, okay? Interesting. And what are some of the numbers out here? So the 52.50 call is 85 by a buck. This is 90 by 115. Okay, so 85 by a buck and 90 by 115. Now let's go back to April and see what's here. 50 by 65, and on the put side, 60 by 45. What do you think, guys? I'm gonna go ahead and throw this out to the crew here on the chat. Should we do April or May expiration? I'm going to throw it out to you guys and let you guys decide. So go ahead and participate. I'll give you a few seconds to kind of think about it if you want me to do. And again, on both of these, I'd be looking to short a call spread or a put spread on either side of this. So what do you guys want to see? Do you want to see May or do you want to see April? Go ahead and cast your votes now or forever hold your peace, I suppose. It'd be neat if I could find like a real-time widget where I could do a poll and you guys could vote real time. Ranjit says April. Rainier says April. That's 2 Aprils. April, 3. April, okay, done. Done. That's 4 in a row. The March got skunked. 5, 6 in a row. Everybody, thank you for putting that in. Okay, that's what I was thinking too. So instead of side-by-side view, let's do the stacked view. I like the April when we're short because we can make money quicker, right? It's like, hurry up and get me to the decision if I'm going to make money or not. Well, I already sort of gave away my hand here because we were talking about these 52.50s, right? So these seem like the easiest thing to sell here because it's up at the top end of that range, that 52.50, and there's a lot of open interest. There's already been a lot of volume today. So it seems like an easy way to go. And then just buying the 55s, right? So let's do the math on what this call spread looks like. So 58 is what we could sell the 52.50s for. Then if we're going to buy or go long the 55, it's going to cost us 13 cents. So that's 45 cents. Now here's the tricky part, because the difference in the strike prices is 250 minus that 45, so it's 205. So here we can make 45 on 205, so it's 22%, okay? So that's your bearish play on this, is selling. I'm going to type this in too. Bearish, sell April 21st, 52.50, 55 call spread for a 45-cent net credit. Boom. That's the bearish side. Now let's look at the bullish side. The 49s, right? 49s is what we were talking about. So here you sell the 49s. But now we've got a little bit more flexibility as to which one of these strikes we could use. This one, look, okay, so this is what I look at, right? I just do like a quick like how much does this evaporate? So 18 cents, right? So why not go that way? Now here it's going to be kind of screwy. I know, guys, on the 46. Pay no attention to the 46 because it looks like the midpoint is 20, but the offer's 20 and there's no bid. So you're not going to get filled over there, okay? So forget about it. You might get filled at 10, but I guarantee you when you go ahead and you try to get filled at 10, you put 10 there, and you're buying that option, that they're not gonna give you any love. They're gonna make you come up to 15. I know how these market makers are, man. They're jerks. Anyway, so bullish trade. Sell the 49 for 53 cents. Buy the 47 for 18 cents. That's 35 cents in your pocket. The difference in the strike prices in this case is going to be $2 minus the 35 is 165 rather. So that's another 21%. So the bull trade is short or sell April 21st, 49.47 put spread for 35-cent net credit, okay? So basically both of these are good for 20%. They're on either side of this. Now I'm going to put this on the chart here so we can visualize this very clearly. So 52.50 and here 49s. So essentially what we're looking at is either end of this channel basically saying that, nah, it's not going to break out from this channel on this earnings report. There's not going to be enough, okay? So in my humble opinion, which one of these trades do I think is going to end up panning out for us? I got to make the bird sound, guys. I think you do the iron condor on this one, okay? We looked at the previous earnings reports, and we've seen that there's not a lot of volatility in this report. It doesn't always move that much, okay? Actually, most of the time, it barely budges at all. Another part of the great thing about these sort of buffers on either end, look at how this volume is like a normalized distribution within this, right? So it's really going to take something to push it out in either direction, right? So I really think that we could go ahead and look, it even failed here on the top end last Wednesday. Found a bid at the bottom end here. So I think we can get away with a condor on this one, going out just a couple of weeks, and we'll see what happens. Now, it's going to be a little bit tricky calculating your maximum potential loss on this one, just because of the way that we constructed it. So because there's a difference of 2.5 in the strike prices on the bearish bet, it's going to look different. So let's pull this up now, do the side-by-side view. Maybe we can visualize this a little bit easier. So the 49s and the 52.5s. Now, if you notice, almost all of the open interest is here, right? You get out here, who's out here? There's nobody out here, barely, compared to all of the mass that's inside of this, okay? Yeah, everybody at home make the condor sound. Caw-caw, right? Caw-caw. Maybe that was a crow. That's the sound that you make when you're the lookout and the police are coming. So I've heard. Anyway, so all right, so our max amount of money that we can make on this is going to be 45 cents plus the 35 cents, right? So we can make 80 cents on this. The maximum amount of risk that's going to come is actually going to be on the larger difference in the strike prices. So 250 is the maximum amount of risk minus that 80 cents. So 170, okay? So 170 is the maximum amount of risk on this trade. Now, how are you going to lose 170? You're going to lose 170 if Fastenal goes to $55 a share. That's when you lose 170. Okay? So break even to the upside is going to be 52.50 plus 80 cents. So break even is actually 53.30 on this trade. So you've got even more of a buffer. So that's to the upside. Break even to the downside is going to be 49 minus that 80 cents, so 48.20. You're going to max out at 80 cents just as long as shares of Fastenal close between 52.50 and 49 at earnings. You're going to max out. You're going to make 80 on 170 of risk, good for 47%. Okay, just in 2 weeks, that's a pretty good turnaround. All right? So I'm going to say officially, my pick is the Iron Condor, 52, 50, 55, 49, 47, 80 cent net credit. All right, guys, there we go. That's my pick on Fastenal. That's what I'm looking for. I think it's going to stay between the navigational buoys. While we're here, what's happening to BlackBerry? BlackBerry's coming down a little bit. 786, right? Have some faith. 750 was our Condor on that, right? So we still have a little bit of time. So there's that. What happened to Bed Bath & Beyond? It filled that gap yesterday. Remember this gap? It didn't fill the gap. Tested the bottom. It broke down on the gap. Now we're up a little bit today. I don't know. What's the market doing? Bought the lows. See? I wanted to buy those lows. It's like you just buy it and forget about it. Just always buy the dip when it comes to the S&P futures, man. It's crazy what's been happening lately. CarMax. Let's look at CarMax. Down pretty hefty today. 56.46, still above our put spread, right? So that's looking okay too. All right, guys. So that's all I got here. Yes, I am doing a daily dive today. I do the daily dive every day now. But actually, now that you're wording it, am I doing it today? Because sometimes I do it on Saturday. I'm guilty of doing it Saturday. Not gonna lie. And I'm still not firing on all cylinders today. So, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to get it done by, after the close or shortly after the close. But I will definitely get it done, tomorrow, sometime this weekend. So there will be a Dave's Daily Dive. And what I'm also going to start throwing in here in the mix for you guys is something just like I did here, where I'm going to start going in and talking about each one of these stocks that we've had. And I'm going to do like a midweek update from the technicals. So we're going to do kind of the big review with the good, the bad, and the ugly still. But I want to throw in like a quick little chart update for everybody also. I'm trying to do more. I don't know if you've noticed, but just going to do more. I'm bored, I need stuff to do, so I work. And it's fun. And when you love what you do, you never work a day in your life, right? All right, so again, Fastenal, looking at the Iron Condor, that's what I'd like to do. I want to thank everybody so much for hanging out with me here on this Friday morning, even though I'm still a little bit under the weather. Hopefully by Monday I'll be back firing on all cylinders. And let me know, guys. Remember, send me those recommendations, livetrader@zax.com. Let me know what reports you want me to cover next week. I'm going to be honest with you. This is where I get most of my ideas. I just go to Earnings Whispers because they've got a nice little calendar, and you can go through the calendar and go out. So Citigroup, we've got banks already. JP Morgan already. Wells Fargo. Oh, my goodness, that's going to be fun. Wow, we've already got banks next week. Good Friday, guys. It's Good Friday next week. So we're going to have a little bit of a delay. So I won't be able to do anything on Friday because everything's going to be closed. Market's closed. Look after the market. So I'm going to have to look out kind of, we'll deal with this next week. But again, shoot me those emails, livetrader@zax.com. Let me know what you want to do. And yes, the after earning strategy. That's right. We need to do something like that too. So what we're going to do for that is we're going to target one of these names, and we're going to go ahead and put it on our radar and go ahead and get them in the morning one time. Yes, we are going to do that too. So there we go. That's all I got. I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend, and I will see you all on Monday or Tuesday. So if I do a Monday stream, I'll let you know about it. So thank you so much, and have a good one. Later.